Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk about some gold, silver and one copper company I currently like. Let's go right into it. And now let's go over to the first company, which is Ivanhoe Mines, which I personally believe is a little bit undervalued at the current moment due to it being one of the largest, or having one of the largest copper resources on the planet apparently. And it seems to be the reason why it also became interest. Bear in mind in Q2 they produced apparently 112,000 tons of copper at $875 million in revenue. The Q2 highlights at $1.89 per pound of copper. But obviously the reason why it has a massive reduction was because of temporary problems with the mines. And the fact that it also became interest due to the fact that but Friedland is the founder of the company and an executive co-chairman, which is one of the mining legends that Rick Rule has mentioned. A little bit cheap now since it's had a massive correction. Bear in mind, none of this is financial advice, this is just my opinion. But the fact that they will be apparently completely finished with dewatering the mine and temporary pumping capacity means that by August they will be finished by, well, at least some of the problems with the mine. And the second company on the list is Bunker Hill Mining. The reason why it piqued my interest is that apparently it's going to be producing as of H1 2026, which is basically the first 6 months of 2026. Apparently it is in America. And bear in mind, it apparently has, if I remember correctly, they have 1.1 billion pounds of zinc equivalent, and it's even high grade, like almost 5% zinc. This seems very interesting, and it's going to be producing quite soon, and I think it's a little bit undervalued at the current moment. And it has Tech Resources as a partner, Sprott Resources as a partner, and it seems very interesting, and it seems a little bit cheap right now. So let's go over to the third one. Now let's talk about the next one, which will be Asante Gold. It has had a little bit of a share price increase this year, but I think it has some potential. Bear in mind, this company has, according to the website, they have 3 million ounces of gold in reserve, and they have total measured and indicated resource of 4.6 million ounces of gold and 2.2 million ounces of gold in inferred. Bear in mind, this is in Africa, in Ghana to be more specific. Apparently in 2025 or in 2024 they were producing 190,000 ounces according to this, but in 2026 they will apparently have increased to 440,000 ounces per year, which is very interesting, isn't it? Obviously things can change, but you know, it seems very interesting and it seems to have very high potential. The thing that is a little bit worrying though is that the all-in sustaining cost is at $2,100 according to the website. With planning, it seems that they will be able to, if everything goes according to plan, to reduce it to under $1,800 in 2026. President and CEO has 40 years of experience in mine project development and operations. His name is Dave Anthony. 40% of the shares are owned by natives in Ghana, which means that they have some skin in the game, but also that they believe in this project. Anyway, let's go over to the next one. And the next company on the list is Orezone Gold. It's a company I've mentioned a couple of times on this channel. I'm going to mention some new changes with the Q2, but let's go over the company at a quick rundown. The company is now expanding their mining operations, and it seems like everything is going according to plan. Apparently between 2025 or 2026 and 2027 they will be apparently producing between 220 and 250,000 ounces per year of gold. And the company has 3.8 million ounces of gold in indicated and 4.5 million ounces of gold in measured and indicated. And the fact is that they did have their AISC increase Q2 of 2025 to $1,800 per ounce, which apparently was mostly due to the fact that the company had higher royalties due to higher gold price, which meant that the all-in sustaining cost went up by $92 per ounce, and due to problem with electricity due to low grid power availability increased the all-in sustaining cost by $100, and due to currency fluctuations which increased it. But most of these things are out of the control of the company. None of these are like due to what the company has done, it's just things out of their control. It interests me the fact that they have now a permanent backup diesel power plant, or at least a certain percentage of the power supply will be now more in their control due to own infrastructure with this diesel plant. You know, I still think it's a little bit cheap. A little bit cheaper than Asante, but that's just my opinion. Let's go to the next. And the next one is Nexgold Mining. Bear in mind, as of recording this in 27th of August, this has rallied a little bit, but I still think it has a little bit of potential. It is in Canada, and it has 2 mines, where both mines have over 10 years of mine life and a 2-year payback period at an average of 90 to 100,000 ounces of gold production per mine at $1,000 all-in sustaining cost. And it seems very interesting, and the reason why it also piqued my interest is because 40% of the shares are owned by institutionals. 7% from Frank Gistra, which is one of the largest or like most known mining investors. Bear in mind it has rallied a little bit, but it has 2 massive deposits in Canada. Like 2, just bear in mind this is one of them, Goliath Gold Complex, which has 2.1 million ounces of gold apparently. It's 1 gram per ton. Now let's go over to the next. The next company is Liberty Gold. The reason why it piqued my interest, it's because it is in America. Bear in mind it's not currently producing, but apparently according to the preliminary feasibility study, they will be apparently producing 180,000 ounces year 1 and year 5 of starting production. And it seems to be that at $2,000 gold, they have a gold resource of 4 million ounces of gold. And this is in America, by the way. And it seems to be that this, to get the mine up and running, this gold mine seems to be needing $320 million to get started. It seems to be that their all-in sustaining cost would be $1,200. And it seems to be that the life of mine would be 2.2 million gold ounces. And it seems to be that in 2028 they're going to produce, if everything goes according to plan. So let's go to the next one. The next one is Southern Silver Exploration Corp. The reason why I piqued my interest is that they have 116 million silver equivalent ounces at 270 grams per ton and 180 million ounces of silver equivalent in inferred at 250 grams per ton. And the fact that, bear in mind, it's not currently producing, but it seems to be that when they start producing, they are going to be the first 8 years produce 14 million ounces of silver or silver equivalent, I should say, and have a 17-year mine life combined. And bear in mind though that 34% of the shares are owned by institutional owners. And this and Cerro de Pasco resources are my current favorite silver companies. They aren't currently producing, by the way, and I think both of them are nice opportunities if you have like a long-term opinion or like long-term horizon when it comes to investing. Anyway, let's go over to the next one. And the next one is the one I just mentioned, which is Cerro de Pasco Resources, which is, I think, the silver company I'm personally the most bullish on. It has a tremendous resource of over 423 million silver equivalent, and it's at 5.5 ounces per ton. And it seems very interesting. It also has gallium and indium, so it seems very interesting, though bear in mind it has had a little correction as of August, so it might be a little opportunity, but bear in mind it's not currently producing, and it seems to be but I think this is one of the silver companies I'm the most bullish on personally.